Hello students, in this video I would like you to turn your attention towards literature. I am going to speak about the first poem titled My Mother at 66. I hope you have the textbook. If you do not have the textbook, don't worry, I shall send you the soft copy. Alright. This poem is written by Kamala Das. Kamala Das is from Kerala. She is from Malabar, Kerala. She was born in the year 1934 and lived up to the year 2009. She is recognized as one of the foremost poets. Her works are known for their originality and versatility. Her works are known for their originality and versatility, and they have indigenous flavor of the soil. What do you mean by indigenous flavor of the soil? Indigenous, the meaning is of the place. Her writings reflects about her lifestyle, the way in which the people are treated, the people like each other or love each other in their country. It is of that particular place that is indigenous. And one more thing is the pen name that she had chosen. She had chosen a pen name for herself, that is Madhavi Kutty. Madhavi Kutty is the pen name, and all her works were titled under that pen name Madhavi Kutty. So this is in short about her life. Now before I start the poem, I would like to give you the summary of it. Please listen to it carefully. This is only the synopsis or the gist of the poem. Okay. The poem starts with the journey from her mother's home to the airport. Okay. And this poem is famous for capturing complexity of relationships. Usually her poems are known for complexities of relationships. What do you mean by complexities of relationships? Complexity, what does it mean? Complexity means something that is difficult to understand. So she is talking about the relationship between her and mother, between her mother and her. So that is the complexity of relationship. Okay. She is talking about one such relationship that existed between her and her mother. And her poem also is the finest example of human bonding, love between one another. And this poem especially deals with the love between the mother and the daughter. Okay, the poet is the daughter. It talks about the relationship that she maintained with her mother. Okay, this poem describes her pain. What pain? Describes the pain of losing her mother. Her mother is 66 years old and she looks as old as she is, maybe a bit older than she is. This appearance is disheartening to the poet. She thinks as she looks at her mother that she would soon be separated from her. When she was a child, she had the similar feeling. That was a different feeling. As a child, she was always wanted to be with the mother. If the mother goes out for some work or is away from the child for a few minutes or a few seconds, she used to feel so bad. Okay, that pain, that suffering was persisting for a long time. Now that she is old, okay, maybe an adult, and now also that pain is afflicting her. Now that her mother is old, she thinks that her mother would soon die. But as a child, she thought that her mother should not be separated from her. Okay, at that time, as a child, she did not have the thought that the mother would soon die, because at that time the mother was young. But now the mother is old and her appearance is such that she would soon die and be separated from her. That is the pain. That is the pain of losing her mother. And this is a harsh reality of death. Everybody has to face death. It is a harsh reality. Nobody can stop. Okay. So, as I said, this poem talks about the inevitability of death. Inevitability of death. Death cannot be stopped. It is a natural process. It meets everybody. It invites everybody. When death invites, we have to go. We cannot say, I will come tomorrow, or postpone for a week and so on. It is a natural process. Okay, but when it comes to relationship, it pains when somebody is lost. The poet's mother is not dead, the mother is alive, but her appearance seems that she would soon be separated from her. So that is the pain. Okay. And she is 66 years old, as given in the poem, my mother at 66. And she looks very old and very weak. And now this poem says that she was returning from her parents' home and was on the way to the airport. She must be somewhere else, maybe in a foreign country. She had come to see her mother. Okay, and now after the visit, she is going back to the airport from her mother's home. And the mother was accompanying her to the airport. The mother was also beside the daughter. Both were going to the airport. The poet noticed, as they were traveling to the airport, that the mother was very old as she looked, and besides she was sleeping. As the journey was taking place from home to the airport, the mother fell asleep. The mother fell asleep and her mouth was open, just like that. Oh, mouth was open. Okay. And it looked as if she was almost dead. It looked as if she was a corpse. Okay. Her appearance looked as if she was a corpse. What does it mean? Corpse means dead body. Okay. And she noticed it, and she did not want to have that thought. She did not want to have the thought that her mother would soon die, that she would soon be separated from her mother. Her face was like the ash. Okay, her face was the color of the ash. Okay, ash is pale in color. It looked lifeless. The mother's face looked lifeless. So this very thought disturbed her so much. Okay, the thought that she would soon be separated from her mother disturbed her very much. So to divert that thought, she looked outside the window of the car. She looked outside the window of the car. She looked outside. Okay, Why did she look outside? She looked outside in order to divert her mind. When she looks at the mother, the thought that the mother would die or she would soon be separated from her mother comes. But now, to avoid that thought, she looked outside. Okay. And what did she see? She saw outside trees sprinting, going very fast. Trees running. Okay, can the trees run? Trees don't run. As the car was moving fast, she looked outside and it looked as if the trees were sprinting or running. Okay, and there were children running into the playground. Children from homes, they were coming and they were running to the ground. Okay, so these thoughts were comforting her. Okay, these thoughts were comforting the mother. Sorry, these thoughts were comforting the poet. These thoughts were comforting the poet because it was a means of diversion. Okay, the diversion from her thought. The thought that she had been having when she looked at her mother, there was that she would soon be separated from her. So to divert her mind, she looked outside. Okay, and it gives her energy. And these running of the trees, okay, the sprinting of the trees, and the children running into the playground symbolized life, energy, and happiness. Okay, life, energy, and happiness in contrast to her fear. Okay, of her separation from the mother, in contrast to the appearance, okay, of her mother, it looked a bit different. Okay, as she looked outside to divert her thought, she found children running and the trees sprinting. It symbolized energy and life. Okay, and now after some time, they reached the airport. Okay, security check. Before they enter the airport, there is a security check. They reached the security check. At that time also, the poet looked at her mother. Okay, her ailing mother, who looked old and dull, like the weak moon in the winter's season. Okay, like the weak moon. Moon is dull and pale, late winter's moon. Okay, it looked so. Her mother's face also looked so. So that is a comparison. She compares her mother's face to the late winter's moon. The late winter's moon is dull, pale, and lifeless. So was the face of the mother. Okay, the poet was surrounded by the same fear. Okay, so now she has the same fear as she looked at her mother at the security check. The same fear, the same familiar fear that she had in her childhood. In her childhood also she had the fear that she would be separated from her mother. That fear again comes to her. The poet was surrounded by the same fear which she had during her childhood. The fear of losing her mother. Okay. So what did she do? She thought that maybe this was the last time. Okay, she thought that this was the last time in her lifetime that she looks at her mother. Okay, she thinks that when she comes back again to see her mother, the mother would not be alive. Okay, that is her appearance. That is because of the appearance of her mother. Her mother was about to die, according to the author, according to the poet. The mother was about to die, but she has not died. So that is only the thought, that is only the feeling. And it came to her and made her sad. So she was feeling sad, but mother did not know that the daughter had all these thoughts in her mind. Okay, she never most probably worried about her death. Okay, but only the poet was worried that she would soon be separated from her mother. The mother would soon die. Okay, so she wanted to hide this thought that she would soon be separated from her mother. From her mother, she wanted to hide this thought. Okay, she is unaware of the fact that the mother does not know what is going on in the mind of the daughter. Okay, so what did she do to hide her thought? She smiled and smiled at the mother. Okay, and she showed a joyful face. She showed a face that reflected joy and happiness, but inside she was not happy. She was very sad because she thought that she would be separated from her mother, and she thought that this was the last time that she would be able to see her mother, and she thought she would not be able to see her again. And the poet wanted to be with her mother again and did not want to lose her. Okay, the poet wanted to be with her mother again. She did not want to lose her. So she smiled and smiled and smiled and smiled and smiled and smiled and smiled. Okay, this is only to tell her mother that she is happy and she would not die. Okay, but mother does not know what was going on in the mind of the daughter. Okay, this is the summary of the first poem, My Mother at 66. Just go through this summary, take the book and go through the poem, and in the next video, most probably tomorrow, I shall explain in detail, line by line, about the poem, and also I shall deal with the literary devices. I shall also give you some questions for which you should write the answers in your textbook. Okay, students, take care. Bye bye.